Hello everyone, I'm Chester44 and welcome to this Let's Play of Blades of Avernum. Last episode, we went and cleared out this region of the area. Effectively clearing out, well, a bunch of ogres that we happened to find over here. There was also a demon in there that I think we took care of. But now that I think about it in hindsight, there was some altar there that had some evil power. I have a feeling we're probably going to get the Ritual of Sanctification somewhere in here. I don't know where. And that might solve that, but that'll be it sometime in the future. Anyway, right now, I think we're gonna head northwards to, well, here. See if we can actually continue the main quest a little. A little. Cleared out everything here. What's this sign say? Beware ogre territory. Right, and we can basically continue looking up on this side of the river. A little. I mean, we could look a little over there. I think there was a way through, but nah. Alright, so let's look through the river around here a bit. Oh, around the river here a bit. Didn't need to do that, but I did anyway. Okay, that's everything there. The writing on the sign has been scratched out. That must be the fort. Well, let me look around elsewhere around this fort region first. I doubt I'm going to see very much. As you start to climb down into this old quarry, you suddenly get a strange feeling. Things are a little too quiet and a little too enclosed. There's something about this place that makes you uncomfortable. Keep going. As you walk down the valley, things get quieter. As you watch the rocks above you, you become more and more sure that you're being watched. Then suddenly people start standing up above you. They're dressed in light armor like leather and chain. They definitely don't have Empire uniforms. They're heavily armed. You draw your weapons but then realize that the people above you aren't preparing to attack. Instead, one of them gives you a sharp salute. Then in mere moments they're all gone. You can't be sure, but you suspect you were just found by a group of rebels. Fortunately, they were under orders to leave you alone. At least that's what you guess. You proceed unmolested. So that's where the rebels are hiding, and how they're trying to get through. Note, Northwest Morrow's Isle is now sealed territory as per Empire Decree DIP-34A. Please be prepared to identify yourself before entry. As you cross the bridge, you meet a large contingent of Empire soldiers, clad in plate and wielding massive weapons. They've set up a guard post in the middle of the span. When you approach, they stop you and ask you to identify yourselves. They listen to you dubiously, look at some papers, laugh at you, and tell you, "The northwest corner of the island is closed off. You aren't cleared to pass, in or out." You're forced to turn back, the derisive laughter of the Empire dervishes following you. Looks like you won't be able to proceed in this direction without permission. Alright, so everything over here, not going to go anywhere. You know, before we continue, I guess... Well, we're not going to deliver that note. I wonder if we can go to Muck and fall, now that I think about it. You know what, screw it. I'm going to explore elsewhere before... Oh. You can always tell when you're entering humanoid territory. It's hard to tell whether it's the shards of bones, the piles of rotting trash, or the mind-numbing stench that tips you off first. Some nasty meat-eaters are lurking ahead. You hear harsh laughter ahead. Looking up the hill walls, you see a large band of ogres standing atop piles of massive rounded boulders. Some of them are holding long sticks, no doubt to act as levers to roll rocks down on you. You could keep going, but you seem to be in a vulnerable spot. Let's press onward. Sure enough, the ogres start rolling rocks down the hill towards you. There's a long way to climb, and they have a lot of rocks. After getting smashed up enough, you decide to retreat. Okay, so you back away. As you do, the ogres laugh and call you certain highly objectionable names. And a couple were waiting to ambush us outside. How lovely. Oh, by the way, I happened to belatedly discover that the reason some of the characters aren't able to move as far as they should is specifically because they are actually encumbered, and that can be remedied by fixing up their defense a bit. So I'm going to level that up. Actually, I think some of us have level ups that we can use. Should find a town and do so. This watch post has been abandoned. It's too remote for the Empire to protect it properly. There are large footprints at the base. Large humanoids have been here recently. This area is infested by a band of ogre bandits. If it weren't for the distraction by the rebels, the Empire would never tolerate something like this. There are about 10 of them, and they have a hydra on a chain. The ogres block your path, wave their weapons around, and grin. You, humans, little humans, you pay us. You pay or we eat, and you die. It stops, struggling to think of a number. 50! Yeah, 50 coins or you die. You must look rather dangerous to the ogres. If you didn't, they would probably have just killed you. Well, let's kill them. 10 ogres and a hydra. Hydra, I'm not pleased about. Need to get her a better weapon. You. Sure, lightning spray. That was effective. There goes the hydra. There goes that one. There goes that one. There goes that one. And there we go. Wasn't too bad. Haste potion. Ooh, that was a better sword. The ogres had pouches on their belts, bulging with the loot stolen from travelers. You find a healthy pile of coins and barterable goods. You know what? Let's take a look at the east. See that at least up to the river here. Warning: hill runner activity to northeast. Only go northeast with proper Empire escort. This bridge is heavily worn. 2 ruts have been worn into the stone by the passage of many carts. To the east you see a thick forest. Wide swaths of wood have been cut into it and dragged to the south to build the cities there. The guard post by the bridge is empty and nobody is traveling the roads. This area is the no man's land between the rebels to the northeast and the Empire cities to the south. We'll probably look around there later. Right now I'm gonna, I guess, take a look further to the north. Let's head back to the road, because I swear I saw at least a sign over there. Yep, there was. Morrow Marsh. And here's a town. Salathny, 80 miles south. Alright, let's take a look at the town here. We got plenty of time. See what we can find. You reach the aptly named town of Muck, a sickly village on the border of the massive, foul Morrow Marsh. Muck's main business is farming alchemical ingredients, which tend to grow in large swamps like this one. It's lucrative work, but dangerous, dirty, exhausting, and disease-ridden. Not surprisingly, the serfs are tired, thin, and dangerously pale. Well, let's look around. As I do. Yeah, we're gonna be getting along with this annoying poison. Oh! Hello. It's a townsman. This peasant is tired and worn, exhausted by years of labor hunting the swamp and drying the packing herbs. You try to learn something useful about events on the island, but people here have learned to be very suspicious of strangers. You don't find out anything. Go to Rome again. There's another one. This is miserable. I didn't mean to step out of it. I didn't mean to step out of town again. Come on, let's just finish exploring this, and we won't have to come back. There we go. Fine. Come on, heal the rest of us up. expanded everything here outside. Oh, that's the herb processing area. We'll check that out in a bit. Actually, first, what's in here? Experimental holding. Keep out. Ah. A swamp folk. Oh, we got some herbs out of that. Also, Draco leveled up. Yay. Alright, let's take a look in the herb shed here. The smell of freshly cut and cleaned herbs is overpowering. Alchemical ingredients freshly recovered from the swamp are brought here to be sorted, dried in ovens, and packaged for sale to alchemists. Tired, pale serfs with stone knives are processing the herbs at a hectic pace. They're working as fast as they can, as if they were afraid of being punished for slow performance. Which they probably would be. Just townspeople in there. Can't take anything. Alright, let's look in these buildings. Nothing in there. Just a townswoman in there. Nothing in here. Ah. And that doesn't look pleasant. Neither does that. Or that. Now there's a nice room. An unidentified small shield and a control foe scroll. Disarm the trap. Silver coins, a healing elixir, and steel-studded armor. Well, dang. 1 to 10 plus 5. I think I'll give that to you instead of the rogue's vest. At least it's a bit better. At least on defense. Some small coins. And then it's back up to this area. Alright. Ah, someone who we can actually talk to. Muck's small temple is far more modest than other such buildings on this island. The floors are wood, and the kneeling pads are stained with slime tracked in by the peasants. The town priest and healer greets you with a wide smile and open arms. Of course, you can't entirely ignore the huge mace hanging at his belt. I am Lazarus, priest and healer of Muck. You provide healing? Yes, I do. Unfortunately, there is a serious need for my services. For a donation of 50 coins to keep my simple shrine operating, I can heal anyone in your party. Why are your services in such demand? Most of the people here work in the swamp. It's a dangerous place rife with disease and monsters. Still, they bear up to the challenge well. I heal them using my magical skills, and the poultices and potions I make from the herbs they recover. I know a variety of useful recipes. Can I make a donation to learn some of your recipes? Oh, we can. We can get Grey Mold Salve and Healing Elixir. Sure. Easy enough. How do the serfs bear it? Most of the serfs are loyal to their rightful rulers and accept their just lot with strength and good cheer, not like those dirty rebels. Then you do not sympathize with the rebel cause. He pats the mace at his side. Sometimes I must go out with the soldiers and fight against rebel raiders. The rebels are cruel, but with courage we will defeat them. The Empire sent you out here. Yes, I was known as a priest who could fight evil, who could be placed at the edges of the frontier to root out and end curses and break and dispel evil enchantments. So some bureaucrat thought I would be best sent here. It was not a wise choice. The hill runners are humans, not undead and not monsters. Not my specialty. You can dispel evil enchantments. Yes, anyone can attempt it, but only one with great energy and strength of will can succeed. It is very dangerous. He looks intently at you. You look like one who might be able to succeed with the ritual. For only 500 coins I would teach it to you. Beware, though, it is dangerous and complicated and hard to hold in your mind. The Ritual of Sanctification is an ability that can be used once a day near altars and other objects with evil enchantments. If you do so, interesting things may happen. You'll forget the ritual when you leave the scenario. Unfortunate, but yes, I did say I thought we would need it. Please teach me the ritual. Lazarus teaches you how to close your eyes, focus your mind, and disrupt evil energies. It is a long, draining process, and failure can be very dangerous. But should you find someplace evil, you can try. As long as you're in the scenario, you can use the ritual of sanctification once per day. Use it when standing next to an evil altar or other location. Well, I definitely know where we're going to try that. Lazarus speaks with you, hand on his mace. He is clearly very proud of his small, modest temple and the peasants who worship here. It's a nice mace. Sometimes kind words are less necessary than a strong blow. Sad, but true. Is there much warfare out here? There is warfare everywhere on this island, but it is worse here and to the northeast. It is not safe east of here at all. That is where the rebel strongholds are. That is why the Empire sent me here. And the rest of the conversation we've had with him. Okay. Hilti. This woman can barely keep upright in her seat. Her face is almost green and she coughs constantly. Her red, cracked hands show the signs of many years of hard work in the swamps. She is shaken by a long, ragged coughing fit. She eventually manages to say, "I'm Hilti." How'd you get sick? I work in the swamps when I'm capable. I hope I'm recovered soon. Swamp work is difficult. She lowers her eyes. I hope you don't mind me complaining, but I don't like working in the swamps. It's hard to stay well out there. Are you recovering? She coughs again, much harder. I can almost walk now, and I use my hands still. I'll be able to go out again soon. If you come from Jeanette, tell her that. Who's Jeanette? Jeanette's in charge, and her quotas for us are tough. I'll make mine yet. I don't want to go in the cells. What cells? The mere mention of the cells fills her with terror. I'll be good. I'll make quota. I promise. If I see Jeanette, I'll mention that to her. Tell Jeanette not to throw me out. Ask her about me. She knows I'm a fine worker. I'll be back out soon. I'll make my quota. What do you do in the swamps? We hunt herbs. The mainland needs lots of potions to cure their sick and keep their warriors strong. And the ingredients grow here, among the monsters. Are the swamps dangerous? They are wet and there's quicksand, and the muck makes us fall ill and the fungus eats away at us. There are monsters. Hydras and snakes. The snakes leave us be, usually. The hydras are slow and loud. We won't get killed by them often. Looks like there was probably a secret passage somewhere. Ah! What the? There's someone in here. You find a weary old man sitting slumped over in a crude wooden chair. His clothes were once luxurious and expensive, but he's been wearing them for a long time. He watches you nervously when you enter. Then he stands and bows to you. I am Lord Brawl Sturman. What are you doing back here? He sighs and shakes his head slowly. I was the administrator of this isle before Lord Volp. Tell me about Lord Volp. I did not expect to find you here. I have many regrets. This island was recently settled, and like most new settlements, it was set up as a feudal state which I was to rule. It's a hard life for the people, but, and this I swear, it was meant to be temporary. The situation here was meant to be temporary. I swear it, only temporary. This island is too rich for the people to not be able to work it freely. They would no longer be serfs, but for Lord Volp. What do you think about the feudalism? Harsh, but efficient. Fortunately, feudal states are an anachronism in most of the Empire. You're really an official for the Empire. Yes, and loyal too. But there's something about Morrow's Isle that confuses the mind. Or frees it. The people here are brave and sometimes just, but they are also horribly violent. Why do you help them? I don't help them, I help the people. The hill runners are savage, so I can't join them. But I can help the serfs. They are what this is all about, after all. Maybe the savagery of the hill runners will result in a better future. Or maybe it will simply increase the bloodshed and leave this island ravaged. I do not know. What do you think of Lord Volp? Ah, yes, corrupt Lord Volp. The reason I am here in hiding. He saw this rich isle and decided its wealth would be best used to enrich him and his cronies. Back in the capital he convinced them to let him take my place. And thus I hide here, he fattens himself, and the people suffer. I hope he suffers some dark fate. Will you stay here much longer? I will be moving soon. Volp would love to capture me and give me a harsh punishment for my words against him. You wished Lord Volp dead? At least. It is not kind of me to wish it, but I do nonetheless. How is this isle rich? Wood, rich farmlands, mines, and most of the profits going to Volp. It is wrong. Lord Brawl Sturman sits back wearily. He is old and tired, and the cold and damp of Muck is not good for him. Are you working with the hill runners? I can't talk about those things now. Alright then. Well, that's surprising. Alright, it looks like there's still some paths over here, so... Ah, there is. There's someone else back here. When you enter this concealed chamber, a small, shifty man says, I am Drex. There's some trade goods on the threadbare carpet next to him. He must be a merchant. What sort of shop is this? An informal one. I have poison, tools, and light sources. And I can identify items as well. We could use an identification. He looks over your inventory with a careful appraiser's eye. Looks like he has spent many years evaluating goods of unknown and probably illicit origins. Finally, he says, Okay, I know what all that is. 10 coins per item. Very cheap. Cursed small shield. Let's trade. We got some things to sell. It's only 2 coins. Ooh, fine lockpicks. And regular lockpicks, too. Alright. Sell the rogue's vest. Sell those shields. That's a cursed greatsword. Can't even sell it. Why are you hiding back here? Because I don't want to get forced to work in the swamps. And because those in charge here don't respect the activities of a hard-working businessman. Are you a hill runner? No, not a chance. I'm not a killer and I don't want to be killed. I just want to buy and sell. Alright then. That's the eastern building explored. Let's look on the western side. Processor outfitting. Changing rooms. Okay. Makes sense. There was another sign out here. Jeanette and Volp. Fine alchemical herbs. There's nobody actually in there. Jeanette and Volp. Fine alchemical herbs. This must be Jeanette. What's in here? Ah, more herbs. Yes, steal it. And take that one. Interesting that the mandrake wasn't marked as not mine. On this isle of peasants and rulers, there's no mistaking what side this woman is on. Her clothes are clean and neat, and her fingers are soft and stained by ink. She's clearly used to giving commands. She smiles professionally, although she's not sure why she's being visited by an adventurer. I am Jeanette, head of Jeanette and Volp Alchemical Products. How may I assist you? What is Jeanette and Volp Alchemical Products? Why, I run the most profitable business on Moro's Isle. Though I might add I owe it all to Lord Volp. How does your business work? The peasants under my control hunt the swamps for alchemical herbs, bring them here, and clean and bundle them. I find buyers and ship them all over Valorum. It's a wonderful arrangement. What do the peasants think of your business arrangement? She shakes her head. Of course, no business is perfect. Being adventurers, I'm sure you have no idea how irritable and obstinate the peasants can be. Still, we have techniques for controlling them. What do you do to control the peasants? Why, that's hardly your worry now, isn't it? She says, smiling sweetly. It is a local matter. I can see how you find the arrangement to be wonderful. And, as I said, all due to Lord Volp. What is your relationship with Lord Volp? He brought me here when he took control of this isle. He planned to make it incredibly efficient and profitable, and he succeeded. He's my partner, in fact. Are you and Lord Volp equal partners? Yes, he's like the partner in most new businesses on this isle. It's what we owe him for our success, after all. Perfectly just. The smile on her face seems less sincere than usual. Jeanette smiles as though her happiness is not entirely sincere. She is not one who likes dealing directly with workers and vagabonds. Yes, anything else? We spoke with Hilti. She's confused at first. For a moment she doesn't recognize the name. Oh yes, derelict worker. She's been absent for 1 day. She may have to be dealt with. You mentioned Hilti is in the shrine, sick. Oh. Well, the peasants are always getting sick from one thing or another. Suppose I can give her an extra day or two to get better? Bloody hell. Are you looking to employ any adventurers? Actually, yes, I am. We've been having a problem in the swamps. Hydras. The peasants can outrun them. Well, the useful ones can, but the creatures are too dangerous for us to actually eliminate them. Go out and try to hunt down the larger, nastier hydras. If you eliminate enough of them, I can reward you. Alright then. What's this? That's the barracks, and that's the serf quarters. It's just a townswoman. And the barracks are barracks. This is probably where we'd find the cells. And Commander O'Grady. There's an enormous man sitting behind the desk, signing orders and looking over troop reports. He's wearing the armors of an Empire dervish, the largest honor the Empire can bestow on one of its soldiers. He looks up at you when you approach, unconvinced that you're worth his time. I'm Dervish O'Grady. What brings you out to this slime pit? Can I speak with you? If you must. I'm the commander for Muck. What do you want? What are your responsibilities as the commander of this town? I watch over the serfs of this town and keep them as safe as I can. So you take care of the serfs here. He looks uncomfortable. This town has a good number of serfs working in it. I'm supposed to keep them safe from the threats of the swamp. So is it safe for them? No, there's no shortage of monsters about, always hunting for our townsfolk. What sort of monsters give you the most trouble? Giant slugs, spore beasts, ogres. Nothing they'd like better than eating some of our townsfolk, so we keep them away. This is a pretty damp and miserable place. Is it hard to look after the serfs? I do what I can with what the Empire gives me, which means a lot of misery and a lot of death. Dervish O'Grady waits silently to see what you want. Dervishes tend to be quiet, arrogant, and very dangerous. You can see that he is all three. Are you hiring anyone for any missions? Not now. There are plenty of pests in the swamp to the northwest to hunt if you're bored. We'll definitely try. Curing elixir. Handy. And here... leather armor. Don't need it. Oh right, I was gonna drop that sword. Oh no, I already dropped the sword. Okay, healing potion. Grab that. And that's all that. I have not found any cells. They spoke of it, but where are they, I wonder? Anyway, this episode's actually kind of gone on long enough. Next episode, I think we'll go into the swamp and definitely also go down to use the ritual of sanctification on that altar we found where the demon was. And we also should level up, probably at the beginning of the next episode. But that'll be in the next episode. So until then, I'm Chester44, that is Fox, Sheik, Bonnie, and Draco. This has been a Blades of Avernum Let's Play, and I shall see you all next time.